Good morning, viewers. Grade 8. I'm Miss P.S. Komani, the first additional English and home language teacher from Tabanchu. I'm here to present the lesson on email etiquette for the grade 8. I hope you will understand whatever that I'm going to give you today. Thank you. Let's start with the email etiquette. The things that you need to know about the email for the grade 8. This email is not only for the grade 8. It goes from grade 8 up to grade 12. Until you finish your school, you apply for other things, for work, for job, you name them, etc. Let's check what is an email. An email or electronic email, in short, is a message distributed by electronic means from one computer user to one or more recipients via a network. The internet is comprised of many different applications. Email is one of them. Each email has a certain server to which is sent, e.g., tate@gmail.com or moloi@yahoo.com or at telkomsa.net, at FS Education Government ZA, and at uofs.ac.za. So those are the emails. And then we have what we call parts of an email address. For an example, we have jmartins@silverstargraphics.com. Let's look how is this differentiated. Jmartins, it's a username. You use your name or any other things that you can use, like numbers, to create your own email. But it should include the things that you will be able to remember them. The username is jmartins, and then @ is a symbol, and then we have a Silver Star Graphics, which is a mail server. Sometimes that mail server, you can change it. It can be any other network that you can use. For an example, if you are using Telkom, MTN, or Vodacom. And then we have @.com. That is a domain where your email is going to. And then we're still busy with the email. And then we have a computer mweb@.co.za. This is a username, like the first one we did. It consists of combination of letters and numbers. It can also use other types of characters, such as hash, etc., provided these characters do not form the first and the last character of the username. And then we have @. But that @ we only write the symbol of @. We don't write @ as in full. And then we have app, mweb. The domain of the the name of the service provider. This part is insensitive because it's the network that you are using. And then you have other emails have CO, company name or name of organization. They differ, as we have the other ones that is .com. And then we have ZA. ZA means shows the location, which in this case is South Africa. And then we are still continuing with parts of an email. When you write an email is just like the letter. It has a subject line. For an example, notes from yesterday's meeting, if we had a meeting yesterday. Or if you are writing something, that will be your heading. Why are you writing the letter? So that it can be visible or clear to the reader. And then we have the sender, which is number 2 when you write your email. The sender is you, the person who's writing the email. And then that will be your name and your email address. For an example, I can use mine. It's pontokomani02@gmail.com. And then we have number 3, which is the recipient, the person who is going to. It will be from me and then to the other one. And then we have what you call the carbon paper. When you talk about the carbon paper, it simply means all the people that you are going to send the email to, or the people who are in the group, they will be able to see what you have sent to the other person. So all the emails of the people that you are in the group with will appear there under the carbon copy. And then we have salutation. Don't forget to put the salutation. Good morning, and or good morning, sir, or good morning, ma'am. And then we have the email body. The email body is very important. That's where you should include all the necessary details of your email so that it can be clear why are you sending the email. And then in closing, you have thanks again, Javas, or you put your name, Jane or Suzette. And then we have signature, which is number 7. Signature, you must write your name again and signature to make sure that you are the one who truly wrote the email. And then number 8, we have the graphics presentations in PDF for the receiver. Let's move to the other part of an email. It's called headers. Subject, like I indicated in the first slide. Subject is a description of the topic of the message and displays in most email systems that list email messages individually. Subject line could be something like 2010 company mission statement, or if your spam filtering application is too lenient, lose weight fast, ask me how. The subject normally, what we call the subject, is the heading of your email so that the person you are sending the email to can clearly understand why are you writing or why are you sending the email to. And then we have sender, it's from. This is the sender's internet email address. Like for example, if I'm sending you an email, that will be my email. You'll see my email on the screen. It is usually presumed to be the same as the reply to address unless a different one is provided. With the case of the sender, I'll send you my email, pontokomani02@gmail.com. And if I need you to inquire something personally to me, you'll reply to the same address. But if I'm doing it on behalf of the principal or of the school, I'll give you the email of the school or the principal so that you can inquire further. And then we have date and time received on. The date and the time the message was received. Normally, with this electronics, date and time received, it's clearly shown on the email automatically, unlike when writing the letter with a pen and a white paper. It indicates whether the person receiving the email or reading the email will see it or not. This one is automatically there. You can click and then you can see whether the receiver has received it or not. And then let's move to the other one. Reply to. Reply to also as an email headers. This is the internet email address that will become the recipient of your reply if you click the reply button. If you are replying to the button, to the email that you have been sent, you just click to the button, and then it will go back to the sender. And then recipient 2. First, last name of the email recipient is configured by the sender. And then we have recipient email address. The internet email address of the recipient, or where the message was actually sent. And then we have attachments. When we talk about the attachments, it's either files that are attached to the message in form of Word, PDF, etc. or photos, or anything that you need to attach so that the people you are sending the message to or the email to can see what you are talking about. And it's very important. And then we have part of an email. That is the most important one, the body. The body of a message contains the text, that is actual content, such as employees who are eligible for the new health care program should contact their supervisors by next Friday if they want to switch. And the body of your message also may include signatures or automatically generated text that is inserted by the sender's email. And the body of the email is very important. Unlike the letter, it should be very short to save money. Because when you talk about electronics, we are engaged with the money. So we should try by all means to save. This is an example of an email. If you can see on top, example, it's written to letaboj@gmail.com. It's recipient address. And then we have CC victoriaak@yahoo.com, comma, dumani@msn.com. Those are the people who you are sending the email to, so that they can be able to see also. And then we have the subject that I said earlier on. It's very important so that the person reading the email can have the clear information what we are talking about. It's written Tandi Sweet 16. What is email about? Short, not a complete sentence. Just like in the official letter, we have to write the heading so that the receiver should know what we are talking about. And then after the subject, which is your heading in the letter, we have hi everyone. That will be your greeting. And it reads as it follows. We are having a party for Tandi to celebrate her 16th birthday at our new house. It is not finished yet, but that means there's a lot of space for dancing. That will be the introduction on the topic. And we go, or we add the details. We explain further about Tandi's 16th birthday party, which is the body. The body, like I said, it should be very short and clear. The date will be Saturday, 28th June 2020. And then time, 18 hours till late. The address, 10 Sunrise Road, extension 18, Middelburg. To bring, because it's a party, you have to bring some gifts, some present. A present for a birthday girl. And then RSVP before or on 22 June 2020 via email nkosisizwe@gmail.com, or we have Sizwe and the telephone number is 072-118-9714. That is very important. But your email will differ. Sometimes you don't need to RSVP, and sometimes you don't have to bring something. Like for example, if you are inviting the person to the meeting, it's important that they RSVP, but not to bring anything. Thank you. And then a code will be sent for the gate entry on the day. Now, because of COVID, it's very important that the code should be sent. As an Africans and the other cultures, it's very important we don't just appear unannounced or uninvited to someone's party. So the code will be sent that will introduce when you get to the gate, and then will be hope that you can make it. That it will be our conclusion. Add a friendly comment, meaning you want the person to be there. And then Sizwe, sender's name, the person who sent the email. Register. It is informal because it's a friendly one. And it will differ with the formal one. The formal one, you write Sizwe Nkosi because it's a formal email. Contractions use there is. Common vocabulary, conversation tone. It is very important. The tone for the informal and informal should also differ. The form and the content is very similar to the letter for the email. You will be able to apply most of the knowledge you already have. The difference might be on the medium of email, which allows us to perform special thanks and tasks that are simply not possible with letters like attachments. So like I said, email, it's the same as the letters. But email, it's shortened, unlike the letters. And the receiver receive it now after clicking the reply button. Why there's a need for an email? In today's life, we call it a digital generation, quicker means of communication. Because in the past, you had to write the letter that will take some forever to reach the person and forever again to get the response. But today, you write email, you get the response with an immediate effect. Quicker means of communication, it's easier, it's cheaper, and you go green. What is allowed when writing an email? Use an informative subject line, which says that what the email is about. It's very important. Don't forget that the subject line is your heading so that the person should know exactly why are you writing the email. That the most important information first. Use numbers and bullet points to make message clearer. Unlike the letter, you don't have to write a lot of things on the email. Remember, in the previous screen, we says it's cheaper, it's clearer, and we go green. What is allowed again on the email? Use simple grammar. Avoid things like the passive, as email are fast means of communication. They tend to be less wordy and complex than formal letters. What do I say when I say use simple grammar? Avoid that the person who's receiving an email should go and check a lot of things, as nowadays we are living in a busy community. We need fast things. Write short sentences. And what do I mean by short sentences? You should go straight to the point. Use paragraphs to keep the email clear and easy to understand. And your paragraphs should be with shorter sentences. The don't. What is not allowed when writing an email don't. Write hello as your subject line. We don't write hello as a subject line on the email. Write about irrelevant issues. Don't write about irrelevant issues. The reader will soon hit delete if the email doesn't get to the point. Give the person information that you don't want anyone else to know. The email could end up in a wrong hands. What do I say when give the person information that don't want anyone else to know? That is don't, because somebody can click and get the things that you have said. This email could end up in the wrong hands. Like for example, if I'm allowing somebody to come on my electronic device to check my things. What is not allowed? Again, this is very important. As we know with the letters, the first sentence, we start with the capital letters. But with this email, and then the middle of the sentence, we write the small letters. Use capital letters to write whole words as in emails. This is considered shouting. It means something else. So that is not allowed. Use different fonts in the email. The recipient's computer may not be compatible. What do I mean by compatible? May not have the things that you are having on your computer. Use italics. The reason may be misunderstood due to cultural differences. Don't use italics because our cultures do differ. Use exclamation marks, abbreviations, emojis, and acronyms. It's also not allowed due to our cultures. They may also change the meaning of what you want the sender to know. Well, what can we do to improve communication? These are helpful tips. Spell and grammar check. After writing an email, check your spelling and grammar. Distinguish between the formal and informal style when writing. You should know when to write to your friend or when you are writing to an elderly person. For example, writing to your friend or your peer or writing to your teacher. Use a signature, not necessarily when writing for assessment. It's very important that we should know that you are the one who wrote the email. Address to the specific person. Write the address to the person that you are writing to. Be concise with your subject lines. Don't write a lot of things that will confuse the reader. Be kind and respond promptly. Be specific about what you want and how you want to attain it through in your writing. When you are writing, requesting something, either help from the municipality or you need help from your teachers or your parents, for example, be specific so that the person reading can be clear about what you need. Avoid attachments and keep email concise and within one screenshot page. Remember, the email, it can be costly as we are using airtimes, internet, etc. Avoid slang and text writing. Avoiding misunderstandings. Remember that the messages may be missed, ignored, lost, or forgotten. It's very important when writing an email. Sometimes more can be accomplished in one telephone call than 100 email messages. Again, do not type in all capitals because it says other different things due to our culture. Give credit to those deserving of it and ask for permission to quote them. Remember that you do not have a complete confidentiality and privacy. Lawsuits, work policies. Some words to the wise. Continuation. Always reread before hitting send. Reread before sending the email because there are slight mistakes that you can do. So check your mistakes, spelling grammars first. Be aware of who is in the to field. For example, if you have sent the email to someone first and then there's another email address, you can send it to the very same person who you do not want him or her to receive the email. So it's always important to check to because it is automatically filled in. And then we have carbon copy, BCC, and reply all careful. It's very important when we talk about CC and BCC. When we talk about BCC, we are talking about blind carbon copy, which means we do not want other people to see it. But with the carbon copy, anyone can see what you have written. Do not use email to discuss confidential information and situation because it can end in wrong hands. Do not divulge your username or password to others because they can access the things you do not want them to have in your absentia. Well, let me go again to what is BCC and CC. Here is the definition of BCC, like I've already talked about it earlier. BCC in short for blind carbon copy. Carbon copied recipients are not visible to anyone but the sender, meaning when you send the email, it can only be seen by the person who is sending and the recipient. Use this when sending a long list of recipients or to recipients that should not know each other. That's when we use BCC, blind carbon copy. Should not be used as spying device, but only to protect the privacy of email addresses. Ethical violation. And then we have CC. In short, carbon copy, like I said. Carbon copy, more than one address can be in this field. Separate them with commas, as we have seen earlier with our first slides, when you were sending to more than one people. Those email addresses should be separated with commas. Like for example, if you are writing to the parents of your learners, it can be jmehwe@telkom.co.za, comma, the other parent, it can be mpoem@vodacom.co.za also. Carbon copied recipients are visible to all other recipients, meaning all the person or all the people you are sending the email to can see what you have sent. Usually used when other are differenced in the email for those who you want included in the conversation. And then we have example of CC versus BCC. From Botsang Pontsho to Gauhelo Dipotso, CC, it will be capital C with small c and colons, Piso Mushimane, B, capital letter, and CC, small letters, Sello Sikala. It will read as follows. Dear Gauhelo, comma, thank you for your support with the meeting. I will inform you of the results as soon as the file gets posted. Tomorrow's agenda will be available first thing in the Monday morning. Please review the details with Jeanette and Nina. Remember, it's very important to give conclusion. Thank you, comma, Botsang Pontsho. That will be the sender. Assistant manager, Sichaba Chisanama, Company 230 Moshosho Road, Rocklands, Mangaung. That is the example of CC versus BCC. Some words to the wise. Don't forget to include your country as part of your address and your area code as part of your phone number. You will never know how far your email will go. Virus protection software is only a band 8. It's very important that you should have a virus protection. Avoid listing your email addresses in publicly available directories and avoid replying to spam. As you know that today's world is not good. People can be dangerous. Send the right message. Avoid abbreviations and emoticons. Know your audience. What do I mean by saying know your audience? Know the person you are talking to. Are you advertising something for young or old? Are you talking to your peers or are you talking to the elderly? Language and style of writing depend on the audience. Spelling grammar. Punctuations gives a bad impression. If the spelling is wrong or grammar is not right, the punctuations marks are not used correctly, it will give a bad impression, as it will also lose the meaning of what you wanted to present. Separate facts from opinions. Focus only on facts. Remember, the email is short and it should be clear. Your most important statement should appear in the first paragraph. This sentence is very important. Your most important statement should appear in the first paragraph. Remember the subject on our first slide. The receiver should know your reason for sending the email. Don't forget greeting and closing at the end. Email may not always be the best method of communication. When replying to an email, you must include the original email in your reply. Never insult or criticize via email. Misinterpreted tone. Emails mask tone and body language. Best impression equals to lasting impressions. Do not overuse urgent, important, or high priority options. Keep your language gender neutral. Do not forward chain letters. Meaning of chain letters: lot of long email messages. Don't forward or send emails containing offensive, racist, or obscene remarks. Do not send viruses. Use bullets or numbers whenever possible. The importance of using bullets or numbers whenever possible is for the receiver to be clear of what you are talking about. Be responsive, not reactive. Avoid writing an email when you are upset or frustrated. It is best to sleep on it and respond the following day. Emails are permanent and you will never know where they go and who will view them. Hence, we are saying be responsive, not reactive. Don't react to your emotions. If you must send an email response ASAP, have someone reread it to make sure your response is appropriate and safe. Avoid attaching unnecessary files. Be careful with your tone. Tone means a lot of things. The exclamation mark, the way that you are using should be polite. Remember, you are judged by your writing skills. No text writing. Exclamation mark. Passive versus active writing. Use the active voice of a verb wherever is possible. When we talk about the active voice, it's a direct message. X, we will process your order today. Active voice and sounds more personal versus X, your order will be processed today. That will be passive. So it's very important to use active voice. Problems with punctuations. Emails without full stops or commas are difficult to read and can sometimes even change the meaning of the text. So it's very important to proofread your emails, as the commas and the full stop can change the meaning. Small paragraphs separated by blank lines are much more readable than long run-on pieces. Careless writing skill demean your intelligence and integrity. So when writing, it's very important. Your writing skills can demean your intelligence for the person who will be reading or who will be looking at your email. Email etiquette, unspoken expectations. Don't forget to say please and thank you. Whenever you write email, please don't forget to say please and thank you. Your email should not be longer than one screen, like we have already indicated earlier. If you need to scroll down, it is a way too long. Don't broadcast email messages unnecessarily. Your sent email cannot be unsent. Once you have sent it, it cannot be unsent, because once somebody received it immediately, it cannot be deleted. Do not assume privacy. And then we have example of attachments. Click on the graphics. You can see. Then we have activity. This is a skeleton for an email. Send an email. Send email to. You write an email address. Attach items, files. None if they are not there. But if they are there, you will click to the arrow and then they will be there. From, that will be the name of the person who is sending the email. With replies, receive at email address. Reply to address. So if you need somebody to reply, they will click there. That is the skeleton of an email address. CC, remember, it's carbon copy the addresses of the people who you are sending the email to, and they can all see what you have sent to the others. And then we have the second one, BCC, blind carbon copy addresses. If you don't want other people to see, you want it, or you want to keep it private. And then the subject. The subject is what you want the people to know. You go straight forward. What or why are you sending the email, so that the person receiving can be clear. And then here on the bottom is the message body. You have your paragraph. You have a font family, font size, etc., where you can click. Please don't forget to write in small letters. And then we have the activity. Use the email template to answer the following question. With that, you can use the same template that I have just explained to you about it. Use it. This is an activity that will carry 20 marks. Use the email template to answer the following question. It's very important to differentiate or to understand why are you writing an email. Your school is hosting their annual prize giving ceremony on the 18th September 2020. As a member of a function committee, you have been tasked with sending the invitation via email to awardees' parents. Write an email. The words count is 80 words to 100 words. As you can look at this activity, it's very important. It's not the same as the first template of the activity that we used when we started with our presentation. The one that we started with, it was saying, Sweet 16, where you were inviting somebody to a birthday party. So this one is different to that one. As you can see this one, I want to make it clear to these young learners, the grade 8, because they are still very young. The first one that we had, it was saying you must bring gifts, you must RSVP, etc., etc. But with this one of the school, it's very important to understand what is the question. Don't just write email as the others. They differ. This one is an invitation, but it's different from the one of the party. Why is it different? Because you don't have to bring any gift or any present. This one is whereby your school is hosting the annual prize giving. What is annual prize giving ceremony? It's when after the results we have a ceremony where all the best learners will be awarded with some things or will be awarded for some of their good deeds. It can be to cheer up other learners, or it can be to say to the parents, your children have done very well. So as a member of the function committee, you have been tasked with sending the invitation via email to awardees' parents. So you are going to send to the parents of the awardees. Awardees are all the learners who are going to receive the awards. So that email should be clear. Then this comes to the end of our lesson for today. I hope what we have done with this presentation today of the email, it will help us in the future as we are very young in grade 8, because we're going to need it in grade 9, we're going to need it in grade 10, in grade 11, in grade 12, as we go to the university, as we go into the real world, where we have to apply for job, etc., etc. I hope you have learned something. With that, I would like to say thank you. If you need anything, any information regarding the presentation for today, you can always forward your questions via email to pontokomani02@gmail.com, or my numbers, office numbers 073 17 376. Those who are around Tabanchu can always visit Petohani Secondary School in Tabanchu. That's where you will find me. Thank you.